let's start with new signing Ryan Colco then. What will he bring to the squad?
I think if people have followed his career, especially over the last 2 seasons at Altrincham, his goal contribution and assists and basically all-round skill and excitement level I think he brings to the supporters will be much anticipated from our fans. He's always a player that, you know, when teams play against Altrincham, you highlight as their biggest threat, and rightly so. So obviously the manager's worked with him a few years ago at Wigan, so knows him, knows his qualities. And the first few days he's been in, he's already shown those qualities in training. His attitude's been great, and I think it shows that we're really sort of trying to get over that line by getting some of that quality in the building.
Is he someone that can play on both wings then, or across those sort of 3 attacking midfield positions? Yeah,
definitely. He can create, he can score, he can cross. So you're right, Liam. He can play in any one of those positions. I think he's just as good with both feet, which is a rarity, especially for a winger or a flair player, so to speak. So yeah, he'll certainly fill one of those roles, and I'm sure at some point he might be able to play up front, whatever. But he knows where the goal is, and he knows how to set up goals, and obviously, hopefully, he'll get the fans off their seats here at the Technique.
Did you face some competition to get his signature?
I think you see rumours, don't you? You hear rumours about other clubs in our division who are after him. I think as far as Ryan was concerned, he only ever wanted to come and play for us and work for the gaffer again, by all accounts. So that's great for us. When a player shows that intent, obviously whatever interest they have and whatever sort of offers they make, once a player's made his mind up, they're very hard to shift their opinion where they want to go. So I think from day dot, Ryan wanted to come and play for the manager and this football club, and hopefully he can, as I said, get supporters off their seats and get them excited and create a load of goals for us.
Am I right in thinking he's cup tied tomorrow, so that must be a watching brief for him?
Yeah, cup tied tomorrow, but be available for Notts County.
And going out, you've had a few players depart as well. Start with Joe Cook, obviously gone to Dorking. What's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, listen, it's when you sign players, or you know, throughout the season, everyone starts the first day pre-season. They all want to be in the team. They want to be the main man, and sadly, only so many players can play week in, week out, and only so many people can be on the bench. So Joe's done ever so well. He carried himself brilliantly during the time he was here. So fair play to him. I think he's a good young defender, but at this moment in time, we've got 4 that we thought were ahead of him, and so to be a 5th choice centre half, you're not going to play many games. So fair play to Dorking. They're taking him, and they're going to give him a chance to get his career going again.
And George Cooper, he just never got going for him with injuries, did it really? No,
and I think that's the thing. He had lots of niggly injuries, and once again, if you look at the form of Dobra and Mandeville in particular, in those wide areas, it's tough. It's tough to replace them at any point. Obviously, you've got Ryan coming now to really put the pressure on. We've got young Jez in the building. Quasi can play a few different positions. So you know, we are blessed in those positions, and sadly George couldn't really ever get ahead of them guys. But he's another one, great lad, carried himself well. Wish him all the best for the future.
And Tom Whelan out on loan for the season at Solihull. What's the thinking behind that one?
I think what's a shame for Tom is that he played regularly in the team after come back from Aldershot, and we got some good results. And then obviously when he dropped out the team, it was hard to get back in because the results picked up again. So it's a tough one, and ultimately players want to go and play football, especially people like Tom Whelan. To be fair to me, he wants to go and play football. I think you saw that when he went to Aldershot, and now he's gone to Solihull and playing, especially the performance of our midfielders. And when you look at the squad and the team that's being picked, and you're not playing, and there's another midfielder ahead of you, sometimes it's time to make that decision and go, right, I need to go and play some games. Just like the other lads, carried himself excellently, trains his socks off every day, and it is a loan, so we'll see what happens after that loan. But Solihull certainly getting a very good attribute to their potential playoff push.
Is there going to be some more activity, ins and outs, do you think?
I always say to you, probably not, but you never know from one day to the next. You know, we've got a lot of players here that want to play, that aren't playing. And what you'll get with that, every player who's not playing has always got their own threshold of how far they'll go. some lads are quite happy just to wait and be patient, and I'm going to get my chance. And others go, no, I want to go and play football now. And neither of those opinions is wrong, by the way. So at the moment, Liam, I'd have to say no, but like you've seen before, mate, from one day to the next, things can change in football.
No game at the weekend last Saturday. Did you try and arrange a game, or did you want it to be a free weekend?
I think we talked about maybe flipping the Wealdstone one to the Saturday, but the forecasts were bad, and then we all we did mention a suggestion about flipping it to here, so we had the home game here, and which I don't think they were too keen on doing that. So in the end, you can't really mess with fate too much. You've got to just try and what will be with games and rearrangements, and we gave the lads Saturday off, and then we were in yesterday and in today, obviously, for a 2-day leading into massive game at West Brom. So in my opinion, it worked out well, especially for the lead-in going into this massive game Tuesday.
It's a hectic period now, isn't it? You've got 10 games in 5 weeks, and still got a couple of other games to rearrange as well. Yeah,
well, I went to go and watch Scunthorpe Woking on Saturday, and then, you look at the table afterwards, and we've got 4 on them, and but you've got to win them, So there's 2 different opinions. Some people would rather have the points in the bag. For me personally, when you've got 4 games on someone who's only 3 points ahead of you, you're probably in a better position. We've got a good squad. We can rotate players if need be, and like I always say, to get out of this league, you've got to overcome loads of hurdles. Last year was injuries, and this year is going to be sort of Saturday, Tuesday. So we've got no excuses, we've got no complaints. But here and now, it's about going to one of those Tuesdays, which is West Brom, and causing an upset.
How do you approach tomorrow night then? Obviously, you've got this game against Notts County, a massive game on Saturday. In terms of team selection, how do you approach tomorrow night?
I think we approach it with set the team up to win the game. I think with our squad, we're lucky whoever you put in, really, is not going to let us down, and are not going to be like a lesser of a player than the one they're replacing, if you know what I mean. So we're going to win the game, or trying to win the game. They've got obviously a massive game at Luton, and they've got a massive game at Friday, and so I don't know what Carlos will do with his team selection. Whatever team they put out will be strong, but they're certainly going to come up against a Chesterfield side that are up for the fight. And if you were going to say to most people, what's the bigger game for our season, you probably would say Saturday against Notts County, but that's certainly not sort of making our mind to do anything different for the selection for the players at West Brom.
Yeah, with that in mind, do you maybe say, look, Notts County is the bigger game, so maybe we do have to make some changes compared to the side that you played against them last time?
It's a tough one because, like I said, a lot of these lads, have waited a long time in their careers to play at somewhere like the Hawthorns, in front of, I should imagine, be quite a big crowd. So you don't want to take that away from them. At the same time, that there's a massive game Saturday, and I think, as you've seen, like, the manager doesn't like to change your team when it's winning. As the season's gone on, and needs must, niggles and fatigue, sometimes you've got to do it. So whatever changes we do or don't make certainly won't affect our view on the game, which is to go and win.
Thomas Asante is now suspended for West Brom. Was that the right decision in the end?
I think so. In today's day and age, I think a few years ago you get away with it, didn't you? And nowadays, with the replays, you're not going to get away with it. I think the thing for us, which was disappointing, was it led to not only their late equaliser, but that lad scoring the late equaliser. So that was more than a shame, really, for us. But that's life. If we were a Premier League team, had VAR, the goal never would have stood. But we've got to get about 4 promotions yet till we get that VAR, so we've got a long way to go. But I think it was the right decision. Like I said to you the other day, I don't really want to wish suspensions on people, but when it sort of indirectly leads to you not getting in that full crowd hat for sure on your own, you're a little bit bitter. And I think it's probably the right decision. But like I say, he won't play tomorrow night, but whoever they replace him with will certainly be very lively and very talented.
You got any fresh concerns, any doubts for tomorrow night?
No, we're okay at the minute. So it'll be a very light session today, but as it stands, we're fully fit going into tomorrow.